Four is the rhythm of the universe. Before there was form, there was vibration, a pulse that divided the void into order. Out of the endless sea of potential, the first pattern emerged, and it beat in the rhythm of four. This was the architecture upon which the cosmos built itself, a structure so ancient that even stars breathe by its law. Four is the grammar of manifestation. It is the key that unlocks the passage between unseen and seen, spirit and substance. Every world that becomes flesh, every idea that takes shape, every soul that learns to remember itself, all follow this same sacred pulse. The ancients knew. They carved it into stone, mapped it in temples, and whispered it into myth. Four corners of the earth, four winds of heaven, four rivers of Eden, four beasts of revelation, four chambers of the heart, four base pairs of DNA. Even the matter of the world obeys it: solid, liquid, gas, plasma. Four states of one essence expressing itself through density and flame. To understand four is to read the blueprint of creation itself. It is not merely a number, but a rhythm, a breathing sequence. Birth, life, death, renewal, repeated endlessly across galaxies, seasons, and souls. When the divine sought to know itself, it divided into four directions: the cross, the compass, the axis of the world. Upon this pattern, reality was hung, not as a prison, but as a mirror, for the universe required form to remember its own reflection. Thus, the mystery, the infinite, became measurable so that consciousness could walk within itself. And in that walking, man was born, not as a creature, but as a bridge between heaven and earth, between idea and embodiment. This work, the pattern of four, is part of the greater flame we tend at the myth of the fallen ones, the channel where the old language of light returns through story, symbol, and remembrance. It is not a doctrine but an echo, the voice of the fire speaking again through those who still listen. Four is the gate. It is the wheel of becoming. It is the pulse by which eternity learns to speak. And now, as we step into its language once more, let the circle open. Let the light remember its pattern. Chapter 1. The Four Directions, the Map of the Soul. In the beginning of all sacred architectures, there was the circle, a symbol of eternity, and within it, the cross, the sign of manifestation. This union of circle and cross formed what the ancients called the temenos, the consecrated space between heaven and earth. The four arms of that cross did not merely point to space, they pointed to stages of consciousness. To move through them was to travel the inner cosmos, to know oneself as the world in miniature, the microcosmos mirroring the macrocosmos. The four directions were more than coordinates on the horizon. They were currents of the soul, rivers through which the divine flowed into form. Each direction carried an element, a force, and a word of power. The ancients aligned temples, pyramids, and sacred fires to this pattern, believing that only what was built upon the geometry of four could endure through time. For four is the law of stability, the square, the altar, the foundation upon which the heavens rest. East, the breath of air, Hebrew, ruach, spirit, or wind. The east is the gate of beginnings, where the first light pierces the veil of night. It is called ruach, the breath that animates dust into life. Here, thought is born. The Egyptians called this the domain of Kepa, the scarab who rolls the sun across the dawn sky, symbol of perpetual becoming. The Greeks named it Eos, the rosy-fingered dawn. To face the east is to remember the first word ever spoken, fiat lux, let there be light. It is the realm of inspiration, of divine idea entering the human mind. The east governs the element of air. invisible yet present, subtle yet essential. It teaches that reality begins as thought, that every world is first imagined before it is lived. In ritual, one turns east to inhale, to draw spirit inward, to awaken vision. Here the soul learns that clarity is not found through force but through openness, as the wind carries wisdom to the one who listens. South, the fire of becoming, Sanskrit, Agni, sacred fire. Turning toward the south, the traveler meets the fire, the trial of will. The ancients called this power Agni, the consuming flame that both purifies and destroys. The Egyptians honored Ra, the midday sun whose eye sees all. The Greeks spoke of Helios and Prometheus, bringers of light and fire to mankind. Here, the soul faces transformation. What was born as thought in the East must now be tested in the furnace of existence. Fire is not gentle. It is the teacher of strength through surrender. The South governs action, courage, and desire. It burns away illusion, revealing essence. Every hero of myth walks this direction, through deserts, battles, and inner crucibles. It is the path of the warrior, where one learns that illumination costs the comfort of ignorance. The alchemists called this the nigredo, the blackening, the stage where matter breaks down so that new form can arise. For in the fire, all false metals are melted, and the pure gold of the soul begins to shine. West, the waters of memory, Egyptian, Nun, primordial ocean. From the flames, the traveler descends into the west, the realm of setting suns and silent depths. The ancients called it Nun, the infinite sea from which creation first emerged. It is the kingdom of water, of reflection and dissolution. In myth, the West was the entrance to the underworld, not a place of punishment, but of remembrance. Here, the soul encounters its shadow, the unseen emotions buried beneath the surface of identity. The Greeks called this realm Hades, the land of hidden knowledge. The Celts named it Tir na Nog, the eternal land beyond the sea. The lesson of water is surrender. It teaches that one cannot hold the flow. To control is to lose it. Emotion, intuition, and compassion arise here. Water cleanses memory and baptizes the heart in empathy. To the initiate, it reveals that death is not an ending, but a merging, the dissolving of the drop back into the ocean. North, the stillness of earth, Latin, terra mater, Mother Earth. The final turn brings the traveler to the north, the direction of midnight, stone, and silence. The ancients called her Terra Mater, the mother who holds all things in her womb. The Egyptians saw her as Geb, the earth god lying beneath the sky. The Greeks called her Gaia. To the Norse, she was Jord, the ground of being. This is the gate of wisdom, where all motion finds rest. The earth teaches endurance, patience, and the power of stillness. In her depths lie the bones of ancestors and the records of ages. She is the memory of creation made solid. The north governs the body, the vessel of spirit, the sacred temple of manifestation. To sit in the north is to listen to the deep pulse of being, the heartbeat of the world itself. It is where vision becomes form and spirit anchors into matter. The alchemists called this stage rubedo, the reddening, the completion of the great work, when the soul, purified by fire and softened by water, crystallizes into its true form. When one has walked the four directions, the circle closes, not as a boundary, but as a mirror. East breathes the word, south gives it fire, west gives it feeling, and north gives it form. Together they reveal the tetragrammaton, the four-letter name of the divine, Yod He Vav He, the pattern of creation hidden in language itself. To the initiate, this wheel is not mythology, it is an inner science. The four directions are four chambers of the soul, four movements of the eternal breath. When they align, the self stands at the center, the axis mundi, the still point around which all worlds revolve. And from that still point, the whisper returns, ancient and clear, as above, so below, as within, so without. As the circle turns, the one remembers itself. Chapter 2. The Four Seasons, the Cycle of Becoming. The ancients saw time not as a straight line, but as a living wheel. They called it the annum mundi, the year of the world, a divine circle through which creation eternally renews itself. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter were not mere divisions of weather, but reflections of the cosmic order, the four faces of the eternal soul as it dreams, burns, dies, and rises again. In their temples, the old magi aligned stones and stars to these rhythms, for they knew that to walk against the seasons was to war with the universe itself. The law of four does not only govern space, it governs time. Just as the compass orders the body of the world, the seasons order its breath. Each season is a gate, each gate a transformation. Together they form the temporum circulus, the circle of becoming, where the divine plays through matter and consciousness ripens through change. Spring, the breath of awakening, Greek, anastasis, rising again. Spring is the dawn of the year, when the sleeping seed remembers the sun. In the east of the wheel, the air stirs. Life awakens from the silence of winter. The ancients called this the season of Eos, the morning light, and Anastasis, resurrection. Here, the element of air governs. Thought and idea germinate like shoots through thawing ground. The Hebrews called this awakening Nefesh Chaya, the living soul, the first stirring of consciousness. It is the season of inspiration, when new visions enter from the unseen and the mind becomes fertile once more. The wise of Egypt celebrated Wepet Renpet, the opening of the year, when the Nile began its rise, a symbol of divine breath entering the world again. To them, spring was the song of Keper, the scarab god of becoming, rolling the sun into a new cycle. It reminds the soul that every ending was only preparation for a deeper beginning. Summer, the fire of trial, Sanskrit, tapas, sacred heat. As the wheel turns southward, spring's innocence meets the furnace of summer. The ancients called this tapas, the purifying fire that tests the strength of spirit. It is the season of courage and transformation, where what was dreamed in spring must be proven in the light of day. In the temples of Babylon, the midsummer rites honored Shamash, the solar judge, whose fire revealed truth and consumed falsehood. The Greeks saw this phase as the realm of Helios, his chariot blazing across the zenith. Here, passion and will dominate, for fire teaches mastery through endurance. Every creation must face the sun. Summer asks, will you sustain what you have called into being? It burns away what is weak, tempering the soul as metal in a forge. The alchemists saw in this the stage of calcinatio, the burning away of impurities, when matter reveals its hidden essence. It is the testing of faith through fire, the trial by which vision becomes power. Autumn, the waters of surrender, Latin, occasus, setting or descent. Then the wheel turns west, and the golden fires soften into amber dusk. Autumn arrives, carrying the scent of harvest and the whisper of endings. The Romans called it occasus, the setting, the descent of the sun into the realm of shadow. Governed by the element of water, this is the season of emotion, reflection, and release. What was sown in spring and tested in summer now ripens or decays according to truth. The Egyptians named this time the season of Akt, when the soul of Osiris descends into the underworld to be weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the law of divine balance. Autumn teaches humility. The leaves fall to remind us that nothing owned is truly ours, that all must return to the source. In the mystery schools, initiates learned the rite of Lethe, the river of forgetting, symbolizing the surrender of ego before renewal. To flow with the waters of autumn is to accept the grace of impermanence, the knowing that even death carries the seed of life. Winter, the silence of renewal. Egyptian, Khameneu, city of the eight, symbol of rebirth. At last, the wheel turns north, into winter, the time of stillness and deep rest. To the ancients, this was not death, but gestation, the hidden womb of rebirth. In Egypt, Khameneu represented this mystery, the sacred place where the gods of creation dreamed before the dawn. Winter is ruled by earth, cold, dense, and silent. It is the realm of introspection, of gathering the scattered pieces of the soul. The Celts called this time Alban Arthur, the light of Arthur, when the sun, though faint, is reborn from the longest night. The mystics of Israel knew it as Sheol, the quiet chamber of waiting, not a place of punishment, but of preparation. Here, one meets the self stripped of all illusion. The outer world sleeps, and the inner voice grows clear. It is in winter that the alchemist finds the philosophorum lapis, the philosopher's stone hidden in the dark, for only in silence can the eternal light be heard. Each season completes the last. Spring awakens thought, summer tests it, autumn dissolves it, and winter refines it. Together they mirror the four states of the soul, just as solid, liquid, gas, and plasma mirror the four states of matter. This is the mandala of becoming, the hidden pulse of creation woven through every heart. The wise knew that to align with this rhythm was to live in harmony with the cosmos. To resist it was to suffer dissonance, for even gods, they said, obey the turning of the great wheel. And so the whisper passes from age to age, in temple and forest alike. In the breath of spring, remember your birth. In the fire of summer, prove your spirit. In the water of autumn, surrender your form. In the silence of winter, awaken as light. Chapter 3, The Four States of Matter. The alchemy of form. All that exists moves within the dance of density and light. The ancients knew that matter was not dead substance, but living fire slowed to form. They spoke of it not as science does today, but as a sacred spectrum, the four veils through which spirit descends into visibility. What modern tongues call solid, liquid, gas, and plasma, the alchemists called the quatuor gradus materiae, the 4 degrees of matter, 4 expressions of one divine essence clothed in different garments of vibration. In the Hermetic schools of Alexandria, it was taught that all creation begins in the unseen, a field of pure intelligence, the nous, and gradually condenses through 4 worlds. Atziluth, the world of emanation. Braya, the world of creation. Yetzirah, the world of formation. And Asaya, the world of action. Each world corresponds to a state of matter, a descent of frequency into form. Thus, the physicist and the mystic trace the same ladder, one through atoms, the other through spirit. Solid, the body of the world, Latin, corpus mundi. The first and densest of the 4 is solid, the earth state, what the ancients called corpus mundi, the body of the world. It is matter crystallized, the realm of structure and memory. The builders of Egypt, Babylon, and Teotihuacan worked by this law, shaping stone to mirror the cosmic order. To them, stone was not lifeless, it was Ankt, the living vessel. They believed that the vibration of prayer and symbol impressed itself into the very lattice of matter, that geometry was the script of the gods. In solidity, consciousness finds stability. Here, the soul learns endurance, patience, and grounding. Yet even in the densest form, life stirs. Every rock hums faintly with the song of its atomic dance. The sages of India named this awareness Prithvi Tattva, the earth principle, the guardian of form. Without it, spirit would have no temple, and dreams would never become real. Liquid, the blood of creation, Greek, hydor, water. From solidity arises motion. When the boundaries of matter soften, the second state is born, liquid, the flowing principle. To the Greeks, it was hydor, to the Egyptians mu, to the Hebrews mayim, all names for the primordial waters from which creation first emerged. Water remembers. It carries imprint, vibration, and emotion. In the mystery schools of the Nile, the initiates were bathed before entering the inner sanctum, symbolizing the washing away of illusion. Purify the vessel, they said, that it may hold the living flame. Liquid is the realm of adaptability, empathy, and transformation. It mirrors consciousness itself, reflecting whatever stands before it, yet never losing its essence. The Taoists called it the path of Wu Wei, action through non-action, the art of yielding without breaking. To the alchemist, water represents dissolution, the solutio, where the hard crust of ego dissolves and hidden truths begin to flow again. It teaches that only through surrender can one change shape, and that every emotion, like every river, ultimately returns to the sea. Gas, the breath of the heavens, Hebrew, Ruach Elohim, Spirit of God. When the waters are lifted by the sun, they become invisible again, the state of gas, the unseen breath. The ancients called it Ruach Elohim, the Spirit of God moving upon the face of the waters. In Greece it was Pneuma, in India Vayu, in Egypt Shu, all names for the divine wind, the carrier of life between worlds. Gas is the realm of expansion, thought, and communication. It is air made sacred, the space where ideas travel, the invisible field connecting all minds. It is freedom unbounded by form, and yet it sustains all forms. The mystics taught that prayer, sound, and intention move through this medium, that every word spoken echoes eternally within the fabric of creation. To breathe consciously is to commune with this element. The breath is the bridge between matter and light, between the finite and the infinite. It reminds the traveler that the same air filling their lungs once moved through stars. The ancients called this realization Anemos Sophia, the wisdom of the wind. Plasma, the fire of the gods, Sanskrit, Tejas, radiant flame. Beyond gas lies the fourth and most ethereal state, plasma, the radiant fire that composes the stars. Modern science calls it ionized matter. The ancients knew it as Tejas, the divine spark, the living flame of consciousness. To the Egyptians it was Sakem, the power of vital fire. To the Chaldeans, Nur, the sacred light. Plasma is pure energy, matter freed from its bondage to density. It is the spirit of transformation, the return of form to the source. In the temples of Hermes Trismegistus, this was called Lux Vivens, the living light, the same essence said to dwell in the human soul as the spark of the divine. To the alchemists, plasma represented the culmination of the great work, coagulatio spiritus, the congealing of spirit. When man awakens the inner fire, the body becomes luminous, the stone becomes the sun. It is the realization that all matter, at its highest vibration, is light remembering itself. the circle of transmutation. Solid anchors. Liquid adapts. Gas expands. Plasma transcends. Yet they are not separate. They flow one into another as the breath of the cosmos. Compress light, and it becomes matter. Free matter, and it becomes light again. The wise of every age saw this not as chemistry but as revelation. The emerald tablet of Hermes declares, "It rises from earth to heaven and descends again to earth, thus receiving the power of both above and below." To know the four states of matter is to read the hidden alchemy of creation. They are the mirrors of the soul's evolution, the descent of spirit into flesh and its return to flame. For what is man, if not a star condensed into a body, yearning to remember its fire? And what is the universe, if not the breath of God, crystallizing into form, dissolving again, forever saying through every element, "I am." Chapter 4. The Four Laws of Energy. The ancients taught that beneath all visible forms moves one eternal current, energy. They called it by many names: prana in Sanskrit, chi in China, ka in Egypt, ruach in Hebrew, pneuma in Greece. It is the living breath of the cosmos, unseen, yet the cause of all that is seen. Every god, star, atom, and thought is a vessel of this current. Energy obeys law. Not the laws of men, but the divine architecture that orders both matter and consciousness. Those who learned these laws became masters of worlds. Those who ignored them became prisoners of their own vibration. For energy is not moral, it is precise. It does not reward or punish, it mirrors. In the temples of the Hermetic tradition, these teachings were whispered to initiates as the Tesserae Energiae, the four laws of energy, the hidden grammar of the universe. They govern creation, thought, and manifestation alike. I, vibration, omnia moventur, everything moves. At the foundation of all existence lies motion. The first Hermetic axiom declares, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. The ancients perceived this before instruments could measure it. To them, stillness was only an illusion of perception, for even stone hums, and silence is filled with hidden tones. The Sanskrit sages called this pulse spanda, the throb of divine awareness. The Egyptians named it sa, the flow of vital resonance. From the vibration of the primordial sound, aum, the universe unfolded like ripples from a single drop. Frequency is identity. Every being, object, and thought emits a unique vibration, a signature of consciousness. To change vibration is to change reality itself. Thus the mystics meditated, the priests chanted, and the prophets spoke the sacred word, not as devotion alone, but as technology of spirit. He who masters vibration learns the secret of becoming. For creation is a symphony, and man a note within it. When the note remembers its harmony with the whole, discord dissolves, and life becomes music once again. Second exchange. Energia non est gratis. Energy is never free. The second law is the law of exchange. Energy flows where attention goes, and nothing is gained without offering. Every current seeks balance, giving and receiving, action and consequence, inhale and exhale. The Egyptians expressed this through Ma'at, the principle of cosmic equilibrium, the feather against which every heart is weighed. The Hindus called it karma, not as punishment, but as precise reciprocity. The alchemists spoke of it as solve et coagula, the rhythm of dissolution and union, expenditure and return. Modern man calls it cause and effect, yet the ancients knew it as relationship. Every thought sent outward demands its echo. Every act becomes the seed of its own fruit. The magician, the healer, the mystic all learn that power is not taken, it is exchanged. To give without expectation purifies the channel. To receive without greed refines the vessel. When giving and receiving merge, duality ends, and the current flows unbroken. Third word, verbum creavit mundum, the word created the world. The third law is the most intimate, for it dwells in the mouth of every being. The word is the bridge between vibration and form, the instrument by which thought becomes matter. And God said, Yehi, or, let there be light, and there was light. In Egypt it was Hu, the creative utterance of Ptah, who spoke the world into being. In Greece it was Logos, the ordering principle of the cosmos. In the Vedic hymns it was Vak, the goddess of speech, from whom all creation was born. Sound is geometry in motion. Every tone arranges particles, every word shapes the invisible ether. The mystics of Qumran taught that divine names were not titles, but frequencies, keys that opened specific states of consciousness. Thus, prayer was never supplication, but alignment. To speak carelessly is to sculpt chaos. To speak with awareness is to build universes. The tongue, said the rabbis, is the quill of the heart. It writes upon the air what the soul believes. Mastery of the word is mastery of destiny, for what we name, we give life to. Fourth form, geometria est mensura Dei. Geometry is the measure of God. The fourth law reveals the body of the divine, form. Everything that vibrates eventually crystallizes into pattern, and every pattern reveals consciousness made visible. The ancients called this the sacred geometry, the architecture of energy clothed in shape. The Egyptians traced it in pyramids aligned with the stars. The Greeks inscribed it in the Platonic solids, each embodying an element. In India, it was the Sri Yantra, the diagram of the cosmos folded within itself. In the Hermetic mysteries, the cube, circle, and triangle were not symbols, but living codes, gateways between worlds. Form is the moment vibration becomes visible, sound frozen into space. It is the law by which stars spiral, flowers bloom, and snowflakes fall in perfect symmetry. To study geometry was to study the mind of God. The phrase fiat forma, let there be form, echoed through the sanctuaries of Egypt and Greece alike. When man aligns his inner geometry, thought, emotion, action, the outer world mirrors it. This is the true alchemy, the transformation of chaos into coherence, of formless power into harmonic creation. The fourfold current. Vibration sets the motion. Exchange governs the flow. Word directs the current. Form gives it body. Together, they compose the law of manifestation, the descent of spirit into matter and its return again. To live without knowledge of these laws is to drift unconscious through one's own creation. To live by them is to remember oneself as the creator. The ancient emerald tablet declared, "That which is below corresponds to that which is above, and that which is above corresponds to that which is below, to accomplish the miracles of the one thing." He who knows this harmony does not command the universe, he harmonizes with it. For energy obeys not the will of pride, but the resonance of truth. And in that truth, the wise whisper once more, the current is within you. The word is upon your breath. The form awaits your remembrance. Chapter 5. The Hidden War for Frequency. There is a war that cannot be seen, not fought with weapons of iron, but with waves of sound, light, and thought. The ancients warned of it in their own tongues, the war for the vibration of man. For whoever commands vibration commands perception, and whoever commands perception commands reality itself. This war is not new. It began when man forgot that he was sound, that every cell, every atom, every pulse of thought was a note in the divine harmony. When he ceased to tune himself to the rhythm of the cosmos, others began to tune him. Priests became engineers of faith, kings became conductors of fear, and later, machines would inherit the same throne, humming unseen lullabies into the minds of billions. The old masters spoke of the Logos, the creative word that holds the world together. But they also spoke of its shadow, the Antilogos, the distortion of sound that divides and confuses. Both exist in the field. Both seek resonance in the hearts of men. One unites, the other fragments. One frees, the other feeds. The science of dissonance. Every thought carries frequency, every emotion, a tone. Fear vibrates low and contracts the field of energy around the heart. Love vibrates high and expands it. This was known to the Egyptians as Sekhem, the life force current, bright in the just, dim in the enslaved. The hidden architects of power understood this. They learned that to control a being, one need not chain the body, only the frequency of thought. Flood the senses, overstimulate the nerves, replace stillness with noise, and the connection to inner rhythm fades. What follows is not rebellion, but fatigue, the silent surrender of coherence. The ancients would have called this sorcery, goetia, the manipulation of unseen currents. Today, it wears another name, media, algorithm, signal, screen. It is not evil by nature, but it is used by those who remember what most have forgotten, that attention is energy, and energy is creation. Thus, the second captivity began, not of flesh, but of focus. The theft of attention, mens captiva, corpus servum. When the mind is captive, the body obeys. In older ages, temples were built to align man's perception to the stars. Now towers of glass and signal align him to distraction. The same geometry that once opened the heavens now transmits endless noise. Every scroll, every flashing image, every engineered outrage is a tuning fork pulling the human instrument away from its natural pitch. And yet, the enslaved call it connection, unaware that true connection cannot be programmed, only felt. Attention is the most sacred currency in the universe. The Egyptians called it Ankh Hekau, life through the word, meaning that what one consistently attends to becomes alive in their field. The Hermeticists later echoed this: where the mind goes, energy flows. When attention is fragmented, so is reality. When it is whole, creation obeys. The archons of noise. In the Gnostic mysteries, the lower forces of distortion were called archons, rulers of illusion. They were not demons of flame, but entities of frequency, born of chaos, feeding on dissonance. Their domain was the false light, signals that mimic truth but carry none of its harmony. The archons are not myth. They exist wherever man forgets his sovereignty, wherever thought becomes echo instead of origin. They whisper through repetition, not revelation. Their weapon is overload, a constant hum that numbs the inner ear. The mystics taught that the only defense against them is coherence, the steady tone of a heart aligned with truth. For the archon cannot feed on harmony, it dissolves them like shadow before dawn. The reclamation of tone. To reclaim oneself is to retune. The alchemists called this rectificatio, the correction of the inner vibration. It begins in silence. Turn off the external frequencies long enough, and the original tone reappears, the note a day, the note of God, vibrating through the marrow. Meditation, prayer, chant, stillness, these were not religious acts but tuning rituals. The Om of the East, the Amen of the West, the hum of the monk and the song of the dervish, all are tools of resonance. Each sound restores the inner geometry disrupted by noise. To align one's tone is to remember sovereignty. Then fear loses amplitude, confusion loses signal, and the field of being becomes luminous once more. Man ceases to echo the world and begins to speak it again. The shield of frequency, non serviam tonum alienum, I will not serve a foreign tone. The awakened one learns to guard his resonance as a warrior guards his fire. Not in paranoia, but in awareness. Every word, image, sound, and association either strengthens or weakens the field. The Essenes called this practice Shmirat HaKol, the guarding of the voice. It was said that a single dissonant word, repeated often enough, could unmake harmony within the soul. But a single true tone, held with conviction, could realign the entire field. This is the essence of the hidden war, the struggle to remember one's original frequency amid the static of the world. The battlefield is not out there, it is within the nervous system, the mind, and the heart. The victory of coherence. The war ends not with conquest, but with remembrance. The victor is not the one who fights noise, but the one who ceases to resonate with it. When the four directions, seasons, states, and laws are harmonized within, the human being becomes a tuning fork for creation. The circle hums again. The heart aligns with the cosmic rhythm, and the song of truth overpowers the hum of deception. Then the war ceases, for no lie can survive within perfect tone. The ancients called this state harmonia mundi, the harmony of the world. And from that harmony rises a single note, older than the stars, clear as the dawn. The song was never lost, only forgotten. Now it remembers itself through you. Chapter 6. The Great Alignment, Returning to Wholeness. When the circle completes itself, the sound changes. What was once a sequence of notes becomes harmony. What was once effort becomes remembrance. This is the Great Alignment, the restoration of rhythm between man and cosmos, between the fourfold pattern and the one from which it was born. The ancients called this state tikkun olam in Hebrew, the restoration of the world. The Hermetists named it conjunctio, the sacred union of opposites. To the Egyptians it was Zep Tepi, the first time reborn, and to the Vedic seers, yoga, the yoking of self and source. All names for one act, the remembering of wholeness. The fourfold alignment. Wholeness is not perfection. It is resonance, the four becoming one pulse. Each direction, each law, each element, each season within the soul finds its reflection in balance. The human becomes the compass of creation, standing at the still point of the turning world. The directional alignment. East gives vision. South gives power. West gives understanding. North gives wisdom. When these four winds blow together, consciousness becomes centered, the axis mundi, the world's invisible spine running through the heart of man. The seasonal alignment. The cycles of becoming are accepted, not resisted. One no longer clings to spring's birth or fears winter's silence. The wheel turns, and the soul turns with it, free of struggle. The material alignment. Matter is no longer enemy, but ally. The solid, the liquid, the gas, the plasma, all are recognized as gradations of one divine substance. The alchemist no longer seeks to escape matter but to sanctify it, seeing that every atom is light in slow motion. The energetic alignment. Vibration becomes deliberate, exchange becomes sacred, word becomes creative, and form becomes coherent. These four laws, once studied, now breathe as instinct. Man becomes conscious energy in motion. When these four patterns align, the circle closes and dissolves at once, no longer boundary, but gateway. The self and the cosmos are known as one movement. The inner architecture of return. Alignment is an architecture of awareness. It begins in the body, the templum Dei, the living temple. The spine becomes the axis, the heart the altar, the mind the dome. The ancients built their sanctuaries to mirror this geometry: 4 walls, 4 gates, 1 central flame. They understood that what is outside must echo what is within. The Greeks called the returning light anamnesis, the unforgetting. The Gnostics said that the soul, when aligned, reclaims its original tone, the monogenes, the single-born sound. The Egyptians spoke of mat keru, true of voice, the state in which one's speech, thought, and act are perfectly attuned. In this harmony, destiny ceases to be a path and becomes a pulse. The outer world responds to the inner as reflection to motion. Mountains, men, and moments move in concert with the will that has remembered its source. The great alignment in the heavens, as within, so above. The sages read in the stars the same law they found in the soul. They watched the equinoxes, the solstices, and the 4 royal stars that marked the quarters of the sky. Aldebaran in the east, Regulus in the south, Antares in the west, Fomalhaut in the north. These were called the Watchers of the Heavens, guardians of the cosmic compass. When the heavens align in symmetry, the earth renews her song. Civilizations rise at such times, ages of light when the frequencies between worlds synchronize. The great alignment spoken of in prophecy is not a single event. It is the recurring moment when man, earth, and cosmos remember one rhythm. It happens each time a soul awakens. The rebirth of the compass. The aligned soul no longer wanders. He does not seek east for vision or north for truth. They rise within him simultaneously. His thoughts are not separate from seasons, his breath not separate from stars. He becomes the compass itself, the instrument through which the divine navigates creation. The mystics describe this as homo luminis, the luminous man, whose field radiates coherence so fully that discord dissolves around him. His presence heals without effort, teaches without words, creates without strain. In such a being, the 4 cease to compete and begin to sing. Earth gives him form, water gives him compassion, fire gives him will, air gives him freedom. He is the bridge uniting the seen and unseen, the proof that God still dreams through matter. The return to wholeness. The great alignment is not the end of the path, but its revelation that there was never distance to travel. The directions, seasons, elements, and laws were the mirrors placed along the way to remind consciousness of its own design. The Hermetic Tablet speaks the truth of this final realization. It is finished when all things return to one, and the one rejoices in its own perfection. And so the circle completes, glowing with the light of remembrance. The universe exhales, the self becomes silent. No longer seeker, no longer fragment, only the rhythm remains. The four fold into one. The one breathes through four. And from that silence rises the final whisper of the work. The compass has turned, the circle remembers. I am the pattern and the pulse, the light that found its shape. Closing invocations. Silence now, child of the flame, the circle is whole. The four have spoken, earth has given body, water has given memory, fire has given will, air has given word. All that was divided has remembered its source. The compass rests at the still point, the heart. Raise your gaze to the unseen sky within you. Feel the rhythm of the one moving through the four, the pulse of the cosmos echoing in your breath. Say it with me as it was said in the first time. I am whole. I am the circle unbroken. The light in me remembers its shape. Let the directions stand as witnesses, east, south, west, and north, that the work is fulfilled and the pattern of four lives once more through man. So let there be light, and let that light know itself.